term outsourcing parenthood, it's just come up more and more when I'm realizing, wow, my job is really to be there for the whole family and to call these parents up. And that's what I'm trying to live by example in that. I don't want to outsource my kids. Even when they go to school, I want to know what they're learning. If they have like they're in volleyball right now, I want to know the coach. I want to know when their practice is. I'm going to go to their practice this afternoon, and just being involved and not being okay with just, all right, you're in front of the screen, you're in front of the TV, you're in front of the computer. That'll keep you busy. When I see that, it grieves me. It grieves my soul because I've just seen so many parents do that. Even when they're at the dojo, they're on their phone and their kid is having an amazing moment. And I'll call the kid's name out, highlight them in front of everyone. And that parent is so sucked into what they're looking at, they don't even look up.
Now, you talked about your stepdad, and then you talked about your dad being bipolar. And I heard you mention that you've had 4 dads and you've gained some from each of those 4 dads. I'd love for you to break that down for us.
Well, just a quick, like a quick history lesson on me is that my bio dad, he's the bipolar one. I have a relationship with him to this day.
Okay.
He did, being bipolar, he has excommunicated me from his life multiple times. And I learned to be unoffended by that. Just like,
Wow.
okay, it's just this mental state. But, I haven't lived with him since I was 3 years old. My mom got remarried a few years later to I call him my carpenter dad. And we grew up in Hawaii, and he was a windsurfer, and he was a good dad. I got a whole lifetime worth of good memories, like within just a couple years that they were married. They divorced a few years later, but he kept in touch. So he's kind of like that weekend dad or check in with me every couple weeks kind of guy.
Even
still, like the most consistent guy in my life.
Wow.
Even when my heart was broken from my first dad, and then my mom remarried for my third dad, I had a lot of drama with him, but my carpenter dad was always there, just like never trying to take priority, totally okay with me calling other people dad. He was just one of those guys that you start to appreciate more and more as you get older. My third dad is I call him my karate dad. So he married my mom and had a martial arts school, and I started training under him.
How old were you then?
I was 14 when they got married.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was my mom's boyfriend. I didn't want to bow to. And so he's responsible, I think, for teaching me respect and for making sure I never wanted to feel entitled. He just had this against that, that really burned into me.
Wow.
And then my fourth dad is my father-in-law. He's also one of those like just good dads that's been consistent. That's, always been there and always will be, as long as he's on the earth. He's just consistent, really great guy. Yeah.
That's awesome. Dude, how interesting, right? When I have 4 dads who have invested in different ways, positive and negative ways in me. And so your karate dad you're still connected with karate dad.
Well, we actually just had a falling out, and I'm hoping it's like, the other situation where I have to just let go of it, and then maybe it can come back maybe we can come back into a relationship. But, man, that's a whole story, but he went through some medical stuff. I wasn't there for him at that time because I was running his business. And well, I'll just say I wasn't there for him because I didn't know how to be there for him. The choices I made were such that he built up a little resentment. He's a tough guy. He didn't want any attention, but then later he's like, you never gave me any attention. That's kind of my short story of it. We've had a falling out, where he put the business before our relationship. And since we couldn't agree on business terms, we've kind of stopped talking. So at this moment right now, I love him and I send him all my good thoughts and everything, but I have to we're in this spot. I don't know if there's anyone out there listening that's got a relationship like that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Sometimes you got to create space and time for those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this podcast is Fatherhood Field Notes, and you're doing it, right? Opening up your field notes, sharing your life with us. A theme that I really like, or a mantra, is rebel and create. And the idea is, as men, as warriors, we're rebelling against something, whether it's like this massive, I'm rebelling against, masculinity being explained as this, and I'm creating, whatever. Or I'm rebelling against being on my cell phone at the dinner table to create connection with my family, whatever. When you hear the words rebel and create, what's something you're rebelling against, and what do you hope to create out of that?
Well, I see, I work with a lot of families, so I see a lot of parents who outsource their kids to me. So for years, that was my job, and I would be happy to do it. They'd say, "Hey, my kid needs to learn respect and discipline. So here, you take them." And I've just, that term, outsourcing parenthood, it's just come up more and more when I'm realizing, wow, my job is really to be there for the whole family and to call these parents up. And that's what I'm trying to live by example in that. I don't want to outsource my kids. Even when they go to school, I want to know what they're learning. If they have like they're in volleyball right now, I want to know the coach. I want to know when their practice is. I'm going to go to their practice this afternoon. And just being involved and not being okay with just, all right, you're in front of the screen, you're in front of the TV, you're in front of the computer. That'll keep you busy. When I see that, it grieves me. It grieves my soul. I've just seen so many parents do that. Even when they're at the dojo, they're on their phone and their kid is having an amazing moment. And I'll call the kid's name out, highlight them in front of everyone. And that parent is so sucked into what they're looking at, they don't even look up.
Wow.
So I've just been like, from negative example, I think I've been just spurred on to, okay, I don't want to be one of those parents. I'm rebelling against that, the ease and the comfort of outsourcing my parenthood, my fatherhood, and really like stepping into that present role and just, as much as I can, creating moments with them, creating memories with them, and creating time, really just to be with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be side by side, but not really be with each other. Right. So I'm trying to do that. Yeah. It's not easy all the time, but I'm not perfect with it, but working towards it.